everybody, it's Ian the Off Kilter Crafter. I hope you're having a great day today. Today I'm going to be using the new debossing tool from Cricut to create a passport holder, like a little booklet kind of thing that you can use to store your passport in. I learned a lot on this project using some Cricut faux leather, and I definitely made a few mistakes when putting this one together. But I want you to learn from my mistakes, and that's why I'm going ahead with this video, because I want you to learn about maybe a technique that you didn't know about, or maybe help inspire you with some new ideas. I think if I was to use this debossing tool on genuine leather, I think I might have gotten a better project. I do need to make sure to check sizes and stuff like that. You'll find out about that in a little bit. But anyways, so let's go ahead and take a look how I put this project together and how I use the debossing tool from Cricut. For today's project, I'm going to be using some faux leather from Cricut. I received this in one of the mystery boxes. I don't even remember when, but I haven't really had a place to use it, and I know you can use it in cards and stuff, but I've been waiting for the right opportunity, and I think this will be the right opportunity to use it for a project. I'm going to use my brand new debossing tip from Cricut. I haven't had the chance to use this yet other than to test it out on this piece. It's super shiny, so I don't know if this is going to come through, but I used it to deboss this little Cricut dude into some very reflective metallic cardstock, and came out pretty cool, a lot better than actually I even thought. So I'm really impressed with the new debossing tool. I think it really adds a new layer of something to projects. So I'm gonna try and deboss the faux leather and see what ends up happening. I haven't used faux leather before, but it says you don't need the deep cut blade or any other special tools. It just uses the regular blade housing for the fine tip blade for cutting it out. So I'm going to go ahead and unpackage this and get this ready to cut. In reading the instructions on how to cut this material, it says to place the Cricut faux leather onto a Cricut cutting mat, tip to use a standard grip mat, or place the material face down on the mat. So it looks like, because I was worried that I would not be able to put this with the back down, because like I said, I want to deboss the nice side, and if I deboss the wrong side, it won't show through on the front of it. So I think that's good. That tells me that I should be able to use this by putting it wrong side down and still be able to cut it. So let's hope that's the truth. This leather is not a terribly thick leather. I mean, that's why it's able to cut with just the fine point blade and nothing special. So I'm not exactly sure what this is gonna look like or how well this will protect a passport, but you know, that's kind of the part of experimentation, is just to see what happens. So cross your fingers. Okay, I've got my faux leather placed on a 12 by 24 standard grip mat. It is now time to go ahead and put this into the Cricut and have it start cutting. I'm debating whether or not to move the star wheels or leave them where they are. It doesn't say to move them, so I think I'm gonna leave them in place, but I may change my mind. We'll see. Okay, I've gotten everything ready and set up. I have my debossing tool currently in the blade side. Let me eject it really quick and just tell if the star wheels did anything. You know, I can't see any evidence that those star wheels did anything to the leather, so I think I'm gonna leave them in place. Now on my screen it does tell me that I need to mirror my image, because it wants me to put this with the good side of the leather down, but since I am going to be debossing first, I want to leave it nice side up. Alright guys, it's the moment of truth. I'm gonna hit the go button and we'll see what happens. Now don't be surprised if you have the engraving tool or the debossing tool. Sometimes it will lift up like that and spin. That's just to make sure that there's not too much wear and tear in one direction or another. Okay, it's finished debossing, and so now it is asking me to insert the fine tip cutting blade, and so I'm going to do that now, and we'll start it back up again. So now that everything's finished, I'm just going to check and make sure that it did cut through everything, which it looks like it did. So I'm going to go ahead and take this off, and we'll go back to the table to work. Okie dokie, here are all the pieces that we cut. As you can see, this leather is not able to really stand up on its own. It's been on that roll for a long time, so it definitely has a little bit of curl to it. No, not a little bit. It has a lot of curl to it. And it didn't quite cut in some spots because of it was kind of buckling on the mat, and so as the blade was going across it, it was actually shifting and moving as that blade was moving across it. But since we have two of the same piece, or a similar pieces, what I can do is I can use it as a template to tell me where to cut, basically. So I can lay this one right on top and figure out where it needs to go, so that way I can cut off the edge that doesn't belong. So I'm gonna go ahead and clean this one up a little bit, and then once we do that, we'll come back. Okay, there we go. It is cleaned up a little bit better. Somebody just glancing at it, I don't think would tell that there's even something wrong there, so that's good. Let's take a look at the debossing that it did, and I'm gonna zoom my camera in. Okay, here's the debossing that it did on the cover here, and I think it did a good job. The design is not as prominent as I was hoping for. If I hold it in the right amount of light or the right direction, you are able to see it. The faux leather is pretty shiny as well, so that makes it hard to see. Maybe on a darker color it might be a little more visible that there is an embossed or a debossed image there. I keep saying embossed when I meant debossed, but anyways, so it's definitely, I can definitely see that there is an image there. It just kind of gets lost in the metallic shininess of the actual piece itself. So anyways, it's still a cool thing, and I think if you get the right piece of leather, this would work out great. Next, I'm going to take some E6000, which is a permanent bond glue. It's for jewelry, fabric, wood, ceramic, and more. And it is also flexible, so this is great for crafting and fabrics and stuff like that because it is flexible. You'll notice though that I don't have my silicone mat underneath like I pretty much always do for crafting. That's because I wasn't sure if the E6000 would accidentally glue to that mat. I know that for the most part silicone resist as much glue as possible, and you don't have to worry about it all that much, but I worry that I might end up gluing this to it by mistake. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to lay down paper towels, and then I'm going to start gluing the pieces together. Oh, I can already tell this is not going to be easy, but I am lining my two pieces up just like so. I have the nice shiny side on the outside of both. I'm busting into my sewing drawer and I'm going to use some Wonder Clips to try and hold this together as it's drying, because I don't think it would stay together if I was just to let it sit on its own. So I'm going to try and wrangle this and get it all laid out and going. Well, you'll probably watch the circus that happens as I get this all worked on, so wish me luck. Okay, I have glued that first layer down and I'm gonna start letting that dry, and I have a couple more pieces to add on to it. I need to make sure I know which direction is which, so that way I don't accidentally glue it. Okay, so there's that. Okay, so that's the cover over there. And then I have a few extra pieces. This is for like, if you have a boarding pass or something like that, you can put that into this pocket. And then on this side, there's a little pocket here for a credit card or something like that. And then another pocket that has another gift card or some sort of other something, if you wanted to put them in there. And you have to figure out how this goes. About like that, I would think. So I'm gonna go ahead and add these on so that way they can be drying overnight as well. As a reminder, guys, when working with adhesives, very strong adhesives, make sure to work in a well-ventilated area. Probably should have done that myself. Fumes are definitely getting to me a little bit. So hopefully I will wrap this up very soon and let it dry overnight. Okay guys, it has been overnight. I've let it all just set, and hopefully everything is good to go. At least that's what I'm hoping for. I'm pulling out my Wonder Clip box so that way I can put all the clips back in there. By the way, I don't know if I said it before, but these are Wonder Clips. If you sew, I highly recommend these. They're super cheap on Amazon and they hold great. I don't like using pins because I always end up pricking my fingers, so I highly recommend Wonder Clips. Alright, so I'm going to take all these Wonder Clips off. It does look like they dug into the faux leather a little bit overnight. That might come back out. I'm not sure, to be 100% honest. I hope it comes back out, but we'll see over time. I probably won't know by the time this video goes up whether or not it did come out or not. But I needed something on there. Maybe I should have put like a heavy book or something like that. I did get a little bit of the E6000 that oozed out a little bit. It's not a big deal. It is visible, but I don't like, it's on the inside anyway, so I don't think it really matters. It does look like everything is holding together pretty well. I have my little pocket right here. I have my pocket here, and I have my pocket here. So that's all open, and I have my little pouches on either side here. So it looks like the I need to go back and fix that area right there. It looks like not quite enough glue made it onto that spot, or over here. Looks like it quite didn't get enough glue, but for the most part it feels like everywhere else got pretty much, there's another little spot here, but everywhere else is pretty much closed, so that's great. That's really excellent. I'll go back and add some more E6000 after that's all said and done, after I'm done with all of this. Alright, so what you do is basically I'm gonna fold it right here, and then you have your little wallet. It's not perfect by any means. I definitely maybe sewing might have done better with it. I probably would have used genuine leather with this. I don't think if I was to do this project again, I would have used the faux leather, but maybe that might give you ideas and inspiration for something else that you could do. Now I wanted to show a comparison. This is the faux leather. This is genuine leather. This leather came from Tandy Leather, And I did cut this, and what's really interesting to me is that this one is a lot bigger. It's the same exact file. I don't know why the size difference is there. I don't know what happened, but obviously this one is much bigger than what the actual size should be. So obviously there was a problem somewhere along the way with the size. I don't know what I did wrong, but anyways. With this one, I bought some leather from Tandy Leather and then cut it using my Cricut and the, what is that one called? The knife blade. So I used the knife blade to cut the leather, and then I was able to make this wallet by giving it to a friend of mine who does leather work. He's a leather worker, and he actually sewed everything together for me, which is really awesome. So we have our little spot here for your credit cards and stuff. I have, from when I went to Disney, I have my Disney cards in here. I'm just keeping those in here to get some, like, I'm trying to stretch that leather out so that way it's easier to take the cards in and out. When I put them in originally, it definitely was very tight, and so by having 2 cards in there at once, it's kind of stretching it out and allowing for an easier, more manageable slot, basically. And then in the back here I have, it is really tight on my passport, but I have my passport in here, which is really nice. So you can have your credit or debit cards here. You can put your pass, your boarding pass in there, or whatever else you want to keep. And then there's also another spot if you wanted to keep either another passport or other things in there. I love this wallet. I especially love the fact that I was able to make it with the help of my friend, and it came out really, really great. I would love to see what the debossing would look like on this. I do have to work out some of the kinks because, as many of you know, real leather has particles that come off whenever if you were to put this on a matte face or bad side down, which I have done before. I've accidentally put the non-pretty side towards the mat, and when I pulled it up off the mat, it left all sorts of bits on it that make the mat way less sticky. So I have to figure out how to make that work and what all I need to do to make that work. But this one, I really love this. So as you can see, yeah, this one is like way big. It still works. It would still work as a passport holder and card. Yeah, it still works. It's just kind of ginormous for it. So anyways, that's the project for today. I think for now I'm going to stick with just regular cardstock or maybe some metallic material until I get a handle on how to use the debossing tool. But I think I'm on a good path. I think there's a way for me to do this, and maybe I can find a way to do it with the genuine leather. I really want to experiment some more and see if there's a way I can do it. Maybe I can like lay down some wax paper and iron that wax paper onto the bad side of the leather, and then that way when I put it onto my mat, it doesn't get my mat so completely fuzzy, and I might be able to do it that way. Or I might have to sacrifice a strong grit mat to do the project that I want to. I'm going to keep playing around with it. I want to hear what you have or your suggestions down in the comments below. Make sure to leave me a comment. And of course, always feel free to ask questions as well. Like I said, didn't quite come out the way I wanted it to, but I think this is a great jumping off point, and I'm going to keep trying. So I guess you could call this a hashtag crafting fail, but you know what? I'm going to keep working on it. I think that's going to do it for today's video. If you like today's video, even if it is a crafting fail, give it a thumbs up, let YouTube know that you like my video, and then hopefully YouTube will share it across YouTube land. Also, don't forget to hit that subscribe button down below, subscribe to my YouTube channel, and get great updates every time I post a new video or go live by clicking the bell icon. Also guys, don't forget to check out my social media links. Those are listed down in the description below. Make sure to say hello and get social with me over on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and more. I hope everybody has a great day. Remember guys, normal's just a setting on the dryer. Bye!